Three of the four middle colonies, New York, Delaware, and New Jersey, used to be part of the Dutch colony New Netherlands. However, in 1664, the English took over New Netherlands and claimed it for themselves. King Charles II gave this land to his brother, the Duke of York, who would later be King James II. This land would be renamed New York after the Duke of York. Soon after, the Duke of York gave the area between the Hudson River and the Delaware River to two of his loyal friends, Sir George Carteret and Lord Berkeley, as a land grant. This area would then be known as New Jersey. The area south of New Jersey was renamed Delaware. In 1681, King Charles II gave William Penn the colony of Pennsylvania as payment for a debt. Penn used Pennsylvania as a religious haven for many different religions. 1 year later, in 1682, William Penn was granted the rights to govern Delaware, who had previously been controlled by Maryland for the most part. However, Penn soon found it hard to govern them, and they became their own independently governed province in 1701.
Part of what makes the middle colonies so great is their proprietary form of government, under which the king grants proprietary charters to certain individuals so that they may select who leads their colony. One of our most prosperous colonies, New York, is run under a proprietorship. King Charles II of England granted his brother James with proprietary rights to New York in 1664. The colony is run by a governor and a council on King James's behalf while he remains in England. Although there is no elective assembly, the residents of New York are pleased with the systems of local government that preside over them, which enforce certain liberties such as religious toleration. Some are dissatisfied with the power imbalance between the wealthy residents of New York who have ties to King James and those who do not, but we can assure all prospective investors that the New York governor and council have their best interest in mind. Like New York, Pennsylvania is run as a proprietary colony by its governor William Penn. After appointing himself governor, Penn went on to establish an elective council and assembly, tasked with either accepting or rejecting the laws passed within the colony. Under the protection of the government, Pennsylvania residents enjoy having certain rights such as religious freedom and the right to fair legislative practices. New Jersey, granted to Sir John Berkeley and Sir George Carteret by King James, was run as a proprietary colony. The two men created a charter in order to establish terms under which the colony would be run, such as how residents would acquire land and the development of a popular assembly. However, in 1702, Berkeley and Carteret transferred their claims back to the crown, as it hadn't prospered the way they had hoped, and New Jersey now thrives as a royal colony. The proprietary colony of Delaware shares its governor with Pennsylvania, as it was originally consisting of three colonies bought by William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania. However, in 1703, the colony of Delaware established its own elective assembly. Some may be discouraged by how Delaware's government was formed, as Delaware residents were so unhappy with the amount of influence that their proprietor had that the Charter of Liberties and an elective assembly was demanded. Although this might suggest that Delaware's government is unstable, we can assure all prospective investors that the relationship between Delaware's residents and their government has been restored.
All right, geography of the Middle Colonies. Temperate climate and fertile soil make the coastal plains of the Middle Colonies the breadbasket of the 13 colonies. The primary crops in this region were barley, oats, wheat, and rye. The temperate climate meant that droughts and blizzards were rare in summer or winter, which helped prevent crop failure or food loss. A warmer climate in Delaware allowed for tobacco plantations and cattle herding. Hills and mountains also supported fur trapping and iron mining. However, these same mountains made it harder for settlers to expand west. A complex system of barrier islands, rivers, and bays formed natural harbors in New York with the Hudson Bay and Philadelphia with the Delaware Bay. River connections and easy access to the ocean also made New York a natural trade hub. Large sources of timber helped in the expansion of harbors as well as the constructions of new warships for the empire.
The middle colonies were Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and Delaware. The social indicators in these colonies were mainly people working as artisans, small farmers, and entrepreneurs, since planting was not as prominent as in the South. The social structure was based on how rich your family was and also centered around Christian religions, and all types of Christianity were accepted.
The Middle Colonies, arguably the most intriguing of the three groups of colonial settler colonies, are equipped with history that is full of interesting facts that we would like to share with you all today. Did you know that the Middle Colonies, originally settled by New Netherland, developed for 43 years prior to their surrender to Britain in 1664? Also, there were over 10 religious practices in Pennsylvania, making this colony arguably one of the most religiously tolerant territories of its time. Finally, the population of the colonies eventually grew to include a variety of backgrounds, such as Italians, Germans, Dutch, French, Danes, Swedish, Norwegians, Poles, and Portuguese, making the Middle Colonies home to one of the most diverse groups of colonial settlers of that time.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Do you like bread? Do you like baskets? Do you like bread baskets? Well, then the Middle Colonies is perfect for you. Embark on a unique adventure. You don't even have to be able to pay for it. Buy cheap land and build a farm. Join a colony. Kick Native Americans out of their own land. Oh, wait. Spoilers. My bad. And best of all, find religious freedom. Indentured servitude until the iPhone is invented may apply. The Middle Colonies Incorporated are not responsible for injury and/or death caused by native attacks.